these three stages: problem market fit, product market fit, and platform market fit. That's the second framework we have in the book. And quick sidebar on it, Brian and I, Brian, who's my co-author on this, we wrote this book almost 80% of the way. And then when we were talking and corroborating this with Jeffrey Morse of the world and Halligan's of the world, they're like, but what stage of the business am I in? Like, you need to tell me before we solve and go and address this problem, just like you're asking now. And so the problem market is a spot where companies are just figuring it out. They don't know if the problem is real enough and if people are going to pay. Product market fit, which you know very well and your audience probably knows as well very well, which is it's a repeatable, scalable motion. You got it. And platform market fit, which Jeffrey Moore calls it and says that that's the next crossing the chasm, next chapter of it, where you now are able to sell more than one product and your market expands. So as an example, let's just take HubSpot as an example. They started with going after agency and marketers, then they settled on marketing automation as the thing that they focused on. That was their product market fit. And then now they have a flywheel, right? Like they can sell to marketing, sales, customer success, same thing for Salesforce. But you can even look at a B2C example. Think about Morning Brew or Skim. If you read any of those things, you'll see they started with a newsletter that focused in on millennials. And that's the problem. They don't like Wall Street Journal, but they like news. They want to send news like a friend sends to another friend. So those newsletters, there are about, I think, 7 million people that are signed up to that. Within 3 years or 4 years of their existence, they became, I think in 2018 or 2019, they became a $3 million business focused on that one business newsletter, product market fit. And then now they have platform market, which means they have newsletters for every type of industry like tech, marketing, retail, real estate, all that stuff. So this idea of problem, product, platform goes across B2B, B2C, even talking about podcasting. Think about Joe Rogan, right? The guy who really is the king of podcasts. He started in 2009 with literally answering questions on Twitter, became the number one podcast in the world, and now has a $100 million deal with Spotify to expand beyond it. So the problem, product, platform is where the real idea is. So everybody needs to recognize and self-assess, if they haven't already, what stage of the business you're in. Are you in a problem market fit? Are you in product market fit? Or are you in platform? And if you can go to the movebook.com, which is like all the resources, all the templates, we created scorecards, Sarah, for companies for that exact reason. Because if you're in a problem market fit, you don't need to track your net retention rate, because you're not even thinking about that. You don't have multi-product ROI, because you don't have multiple products. So there are scorecards we created for problem market fit, early stage, seed stage companies. If you're Series A, Series B, then we created a scorecard for you. And then that's a product market fit. And in platform market fit, we created a go-to-market scorecard that tracked marketing, sales, customer success, product usage, all of it. You can literally go download on the movebook.com.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure to include that on the show notes for the podcast and the blog, of course, so that people can, go fill it in and figure it out. Talk to me about kind of making the jump between each of those stages. So you start off in your problem market fit. You're starting to figure it out. There are people who kind of care about what you're trying to sell. What are the actions that you should be taking to make that jump from that to your product market fit?
I'm so glad you asked that, Sarah, because what we noticed in our research is companies don't fail in these stages. They fail as they transition between these stages. That's the valley of death. So why a company wouldn't go from problem to product is because of retention. They haven't figured out how to retain. You're able to get new customers because you're testing, you're doing everything you can. But what you will make you a product market fit company is because not only you're able to acquire great customers, you're able to retain, get great customers. That's the line that you have to draw. It's like, our retention rate is 80% or up to 100%. Now you can say you're a product market fit. So in our research, we found, and we wrote in the book, that you could be a $20 million company, 20 million, and still be in problem market fit because you haven't figured out the retention issue. So that's just from problem to product. What stops companies from becoming from product to platform is that one thing that happens typically when you have a great product, people are buying and you're seeing some success, maybe you get to the 10 million revenue, is that your customers are now 1-year-old customers and they're like, we want more from you. You're going to have competitors come in and they're going to try to fight you on pricing and features. So all of a sudden your market knows about it and they're expecting like, well, what else do you got? So you are pushed automatically, if you're doing a great product market fit company, into like, well, we have to create more products, more services to support our existing customers, much less also to compete in the marketplace. And that pushes you into the platform market fit. But what stops them in the research, what we found, Sarah, was what stops them from them is because they haven't put together something we have talked about a lot in the book, is RevOps, revenue operations, where they don't have a single source of truth of where to invest the dollars. They still have marketing ops, sales ops, product ops, customer success ops, all siloed, making individual decisions, but they don't have a RevOps that will make the most important decision for the CEO. Oh, we need to hire sales enablement. We need to essentially focus on customer advocacy, and all these decisions that a CEO has to make. It's really hard. And I think that's why a lot of companies stay in product market fit, even when they're 100 million in revenue.
Right. And when do you think is the best time to start incorporating RevOps? Is it like right when you found product market fit so that you're ready to scale?
That's a great, that will be a great place. I think if you're in problem market fit, it's probably not the right time. As I've almost the opposite, because in that stage, you're just figuring things out. If you try to centralize too much, it might almost work against you because you're not ready as an organization. So if you're in a problem market fit, probably not a great time to have RevOps, but be thinking about it. But absolutely true. As soon as you get to product market fit, if you want to become a platform market, if you start moving in that direction, I think that's like the best time to saying, all right, we don't need any more conversation on who moved my cheese, right? Like that's what happens. Like, hey, where's that number? I updated that spreadsheet. You don't want that. You want your executive team to say, this is what we focus on. When a RevOps person is, I'll give you a quick story. Natalie Lee, who runs our RevOps at Terminus, she came in about a year and a half ago. And she literally would come in every Tuesday. We have an executive meeting and she runs a RevOps. She comes in and says, here's the go-to-market dashboard, which is what's on the movebook.com. We literally stole it from her and it's in the book. And we give her credit all day long around it. And she has this scorecard of marketing, sales, customer success, product, all of that. And she literally comes in and says, this is working, this is not working, here are the gaps. She reports to the CFO. She has no bone in the fight. So she's like, this is what it is, which allows everybody, Sarah, the CMO, the CRO, and everybody on the team and the CPO to say, oh, I'm a business leader in marketing. I don't need to defend my number. There's no my number because that's a RevOps number, right? So what they get to do is to say, hey, I'm a business leader specialized in marketing, Mr. or Miss CMO. Here's how I can help. Or the sales leader would say, I'm a business leader specialized in sales. Here's how I can help in that. So I think the RevOps is fundamentally a different mindset an organization can have. And most importantly, as you become between product and platform, it might be one of the most important. As a matter of fact, I've been saying this now for about few months now, that the second most important role in the organization outside of the CEO is the head of RevOps.